Welcome to the Grow and Expand with S podcast, the #1 podcast for female founders and entrepreneurs ready to create wildly successful businesses without giving up that freedom-based lifestyle that they started it all for. So today I'm sitting down with Jessica Bailey. Jess is a true voice coach, award-winning screenwriter, director, and author of the book I Am Not a Nurse. She's an African-Australian storyteller. She helps high-performing women trade performative polish for embodied presence. Hi, Jess. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Shanae.
So welcome. Jess, the first time I heard you speak was the International Women's Day event held by Fusion, Biz & Co. I think it was this year.
It was this year.
And there were about 3-4 other speakers, and without comparing, because I'm not really comparing them, more than to say that for the first time in my life when someone spoke, the electricity inside of my body was so alive that I cried. And like at a bit that wasn't emotional. It was what was going on inside of me that was I felt so lit up that I just went, holy shit, how amazing, how magnetic. So thank you so much for joining me today, because I just want to absolutely pick your brain on how to do that and how my audience should do that. Because my audience, they're all high-performing women. They've left their corporate jobs. They've got a bigger purpose. If they could unfilteredly speak their message, it would serve so many people. But there's so many blocks, there's so many things holding them back, there's such lack of clarity. So talk to us a little bit about that in your journey. And
you talk about the International Women's Day, and that's where we met. You're very right. I think after that event, I started following you myself, and then hearing your own voice, very powerful. I had to get in touch. And every day I listen to you on social, just voicing that voice. It is very powerful. And I'm actually shocked to hear that you think that I have a voice compared to your voice. And to hear you say that you felt something from my speech, I think that's an honor from a powerful voice like yourself.
thanks, Jess.
All right. So let's talk about the block. I think when I first came to Australia, there was a huge block. I knew not myself. I knew not where I was going. I was just lost, a little girl just wandering around tall, giant buildings. It felt like they've all got it well set together here, and I had nothing to give. These buildings were tall. Who am I? You know what I mean? Like an African little girl like myself with accent so thick, like a Nigerian woman's accent. I had nothing to talk about, nothing to give, basically. And I remember just shutting down, like literally shutting down. It's funny because I made a post on my journey to breaking past that, and we don't reflect on the journey a lot. But when I reflected on my journey, I have come a long way with getting past blocks. And how did I get past that, if I am to put that into short? It was basically just knowing what I have. It was to first come home to myself. It was to go deeply, really. I realized that to connect with the world, you would have to first connect with yourself. We talk about connection, how we're not connecting, we're not fitting in, we're not able to resonate and all that. It's nothing to do with the world, it's us. From a girl who wasn't able to even speak to a doctor. I couldn't speak for myself in a doctor's appointment. My then husband, who was a Caucasian, he speaks for me. He answers phone calls that has to do with a white person on the other end for me. He opened bank account for me. I could not. This is due to lack of self-confidence. And you think, well, yeah, because you're black and the rest of the people, the world are white. But no, it's not. It's you don't know what you have.
Yeah, you haven't gone in there and connected here.
You underestimate what you have. Your connection, your resonance, your power, everything to do with all you are here to give to the world is in here, is you. So once you first reconcile with that, everything else just opens up. That's where the connection and the resonance. It's like that's the voice.
That's the portal.
Do you know what I mean? And you speak it even from afar, people hear it and people resonate. And so when I climb up on stage, even today, and not even rehearse, like I don't rehearse a lot of my talk. I never sit down to go, okay, let's structure this talk like this. I hardly do that.
Yeah.
I said to my partner, doing that even make me get lost.
Yes, because then you feel like you have to say something.
That's right. I'm trying to paint now, but I don't resonate when I paint. Because my problem in the past was trying to talk like other people. Yeah. I am not other people. I am Jessica Bailey. I am an African woman, and I have truth. I have experiences. I have stories that I carry. No one else has it. And so when I started really leaning into all of those things, every day I just feel so rich. I have so much to give to the world that I look at the time, I feel like I don't even have enough time.
No, you will feel that. But
do you know what I mean? To give what I have in this lifetime. So it is really leaning into what we have. That is the answer.
So I love that. So many threads. The one that I want to hone in on is that feeling of not having enough time, right? That is that urgency, that kind of urgency energy. And just there's not a high-performing woman I've worked with that doesn't have that. And that's one to conquer, because otherwise you'll never have enough, because you'll know every time you step, something new comes through and you got to control it all. But anyways, there was a post that you posted and it was almost like the formula. And I remember reading it and being like, wow. And then I thought about it for me and I went, oh, yeah, so true. And I can see that. So I'm going to explain it to you now and then hopefully you can elaborate on it.
Yeah.
It was something along the lines of, if you find your pain, then you will find, and how you've overcome your pain, that's your soul purpose. And that's the story and that's the voice. Can you elaborate a little bit for me on that? Because that really... I had already been doing that intuitively because I've been speaking a lot. I speak from my own. But I think a lot of people and a lot of my clients and a lot of women are feeling pressure to do plug and play systems and frameworks and what they should say. And this one's doing it this way and this one's doing it that way. And it's easy to see, compare, feel inferior and start to copy. But you lose every bit of authentic magnetism. So if you can elaborate on that little roadmap back into themselves, like how would you explain that?
I think every single person on earth is here to give something. And no two persons is here to give the same thing, okay? Every single person has their unique thing they have come to represent. And it is important that you know what yours is. And as soon as you find it, you stick to it. So how do you know your own unique voice? I call it voice, okay? Because when you speak it, people hear it. They think when we talk about voice that we're actually talking about this sound that is coming out of my mouth. No, it is actually what you have come to embody. It's what you have come to express in this lifetime. So your question is tied to a soul journey. I have come up with this soul template, which is this Your True Voice book that I have here. The soul, my philosophy is, before we were born, we have been assigned an assignment. Now, that assignment destination is the world. And so the soul gets born through birth. It chose the body that is going to go into. And that body is unique for the soul, for that particular soul's assignment. So the soul chooses the body like a uniform. It's like if you're going into nursing, there is a uniform for nursing. There is a uniform for a lawyer and all those sort of fields. So every field you're going into has their own uniform. That's how we identify what you're here for. So the soul, the same way, chose the body. And when it come into this place, that is the first destination. The second destination for the soul is the mission, which is the purpose zone. Now, the soul is going to travel to that destination, and the traveling means is pain.
Yep.
Now, that pain, I call it a portal. Now, each person has their own unique pain, okay, that is going to get them to their mission. Just like our mission is different, so also is our pains. Okay? So that's why you see everybody, we're all going through our individual pains. And we chose this pain based on the mission that we are here to achieve. We chose the home we were born in. We chose the parents we came into. We chose all of the important people we meet in our lives. They are contributors to the soul's journey into purpose. Now, the soul in that journey of pain really is what the body, what the physical eye sees is pain. But what the soul is actually seeing is education. The soul is studying.
Yep.
It's like if you want to go study law,
It's where you're learning the lessons.
You're going to university, okay? And you're going to graduate to become a lawyer. But you did not start as a child as a lawyer. You go to study. So the soul, the same thing, is going to study to get into the destination of purpose. And when you get into that destination of purpose, congratulations, you've made it. It's called rebirth, right? Now, it's rebirth because the soul has landed in a destination that is opposite to where it started. The soul is here to teach what the opposite of what it started with, okay? So it starts with the opposite here, but here is going to, so whatever is landing here is going to be the opposite of what it started with, okay? So for a woman like myself who lacked self-confidence, who could not speak in class, who could not introduce herself in any places she goes to, all of a sudden now standing on stage facing 800 audience and speaking confidently.
And electricity.
That is the opposite of where I started. So we get to that destination. All right. A lot of people, the mistake they make when it comes to the audience you're talking about, your audience, is we begin the purpose, and then we're getting bombarded with all of these different things going on. Strategy, do it this way, do it that way. You forget that you have your own unique blueprint. You cannot miss it. You have to stick to your own pain, rebirth. You have your own thing that catapulted you into mission. Don't ever miss it. Don't ever lose it. No matter how much the noise you're going through, you have to stick to your story. It is in your story. So you have gotten into purpose, but then you always look back to, how did I get here again? So that constant reflection would help you to dig into your purpose. The more you understand the story that brought you here, the more you are electrified with your own unique purpose in this place. And the more you are electrified, the more your audience feel you raw, authentically, even from afar.
This is just, I'm like lit up. Is this what the book is about? Can you tell us about the book?
Yeah, this is what...
So this isn't out yet?
This is launching first week of October. We're actually doing this at Crystal's Warehouse. So this is their own event, but they just giving me... So I'm a guest in a way, launching this book and talking about the book. It's going to be about death, birth, purpose, rebirth. This is what this book is about.
Yeah, beautiful. And so if someone wants to buy that once it's launched?
It would be on Amazon.
And you'll send me a link and we'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is your voice, your true voice. This is the voice I'm talking about, right? That your people get to and they lose it because of all of the noise going on.
We?
That's right.
We get distracted.
That's right.
And we always find our way back, but it'd be so much quicker and much more electric if we can just recenter often.
I think because your job is come to to teach. We're teachers here. As soon as you get into purpose, you're a teacher. You're the one looking back to your audience, the people that are going through what you've gone through, and you're saying, "Hey guys, come on in.
Here's the steps,
we can
here's
do
how,
this. I've done it, but I've done it myself." So what I say is, such souls like yourself are courageous souls. They are souls that took a bullet for the team. So you took the bullet, and it's time to turn back, look at them, and rewrite the narrative for the world. And you say you're wrong.
Amen. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think we should collaborate on a workshop. It's come to me as we're talking right now.
That would be incredible.
I think that would be so fabulous, because for me, I probably got to my voice and to my message in a bit of a reversed engineered way, in that I always knew that I wanted to speak up about just anything and everything that didn't sit right with me. But then I felt incredibly captive in speaking up, because when I was a kid and I spoke up, I got severely punished. So freedom of expression, particularly when it meant holding up a mirror against lower kind of vibrational people, right, meant severe punishment for me. And so when I started walking the road, every time I would communicate and I couldn't, or I reflected on it and I'm like, wow, I really held back, or I changed this to fit in, I would then go and I would bring the wound to the surface. So why is that? What was my block? What was the wound? What's the origin wound? And I would bring it up. And through breathwork and energy clearing, I would clear out the sensations and the emotions and the energy in my body. And so almost that way, then my voice just became natural. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
That's how I was just spoke up, where couldn't I? And then I just healed and released it. Yeah. But it's just, since I've done that, obviously my audience has just grown. The resonance from people have grown, the reach out, the invitations for myself to, and so the bottom line is, every single woman that is in a change maker position, which is pretty much anyone that's now a founder, an entrepreneur, and has left their business, has their own unique voice.
That's right.
And they need to be empowered.
That's right.
So we should do a workshop together.
We should do a workshop
You'll do the
together.
leading to the story, and I'll do the let's uncover the blocks, and let's release them. Let's release them.
I love it. Actually, that would be great.
Yes,
that
like the duo,
really,
the
really
clarity
great.
and don't be held back. The limiting beliefs, the fears.
Yeah. So I walk them through the voice.
Yes.
And how to find it.
And
then they find it. And then they
the
go to you.
The fears will come up when they find it.
The fears, yes. And then you
release it. That's right. Woo! So good.
Oh, that works.
I want to ask you, we had a couple of questions from the audience for you. So do you get nervous before you speak?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Because this is what we do. We are a teacher here. This is why I say lean into you. The moment you lean into you, everything else, fear and all of these things that the blocks people go through, it just leaves.
Yeah.
Because you have something to teach, and it's important that you teach it. And the more you lean into you, the more you start to trust what you have. Because if you resonate with one person, chances are you're going to resonate with the next door and the next door. Then all of a sudden, I stand on stage and it's as if I'm just talking alone, like to myself. I don't even see the audience. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, because that happens to me. Yeah.
And you go, what if you don't know what you want to talk about? No, I'm not here to talk what I'm not here to talk about.
Yeah.
Or I'm not here to talk
I don't
what
have
I
to
don't know
strategize.
about.
Yeah, I don't have to strategize about what to talk about. I talk about my organic experience.
What I know. That's
How
right.
can you not? That's you lived it.
So I'm not going to talk about Shanae, for example. I can't talk about what she does.
Yeah.
That's her. I can't copy it just because it's selling for her. No, that's hers. I have to talk what I know. And what I know should, even when people wake me up in the middle of the night and say, start talking, I'm going to start talking.
Because it's your lived blueprint.
And that's where passion just literally swears. And people feel passion. People feel when you're real. Do you know what I mean? We're not looking for a polished version. Nobody resonates with polished.
No.
We're humans. So when you bring yourself to that point where you're able to realize that we're all humans here. We all have our stories, our mess, all of our ugliness and goodies. We are a mix of all of it. And when you can just take yourself on stage, wherever that is for you, just as you are, the sooner you do that, the easier this whole journey becomes for you.
Yes. Last question. If you could go back to 5 years ago, Jess, so just 5 years ago, what piece of advice or words or encouragement, or what would you say to her? Or what would you give her?
I would say to her, lean into all that you have. Don't even look outside. Don't even look at what is trending. Don't look at who's doing it well. Don't look at what's been set as standard for beauty and knowledge and stuff. Just, hey, Jess. Hey, Jess, look in the mirror, honey. Get a pen, get a paper. Write down all of the things you know about you. And then lean into those. Don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Don't do what you're told, not what society said, not what husband or partner or friends or whatever says. What you want to do, who you are. And don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Just rock you the way you are.
God, I love you, Jess. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast today.
That was sweet.
My heart is literally lit up at the moment, like warm.
I'm so glad. Oh my God, you made it so easy. I love your energy, your vibe. You and I have this.
We do have
like that. You know what I mean? Like we just boom. Oh my God, love it. I love it, and I love to go on stage with you one day. And talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me today, and for all the advice and wisdom you've given everyone.